Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining, everybody. And today we are back for another Tuesday discussion, where all the content on Tuesdays is community generated from questions that come to us via Patreon, Instagram, or YouTube. So if you got a question, leave it in the comments. We'll get back to you in this format as quick as we can. Today's question is coming from a special patron, Dave. Cheers, Dave. And Dave wanted to know, do I have 5 predictions for where bourbon is going to go in 2024 and beyond? So I am going to stick to more of the near future with 2024, but I've got some predictions. Hey, we'll see if they come true or if any of these are hot takes. Once you're done going through this video, let me know what you think of these predictions in the comments. So thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. Pour a little dram there while I'm talking to everybody. Today's dram is going to be the Belle of Bedford here. This is a 10-year extra aged 95.5 MGP rye. And it does play into one of the predictions I am going to make later in this video. So just to recap, I am going to go over 5 predictions for 2024 when it comes to bourbon and American whiskeys in general. First prediction is that the legacy distilleries are going to continue to flex. What do I mean by that? Well, let's think about recent flexes here. Maker's Mark Cellar Age. Jack Daniels, 10-year, 12-year, the rye releases, the heritage releases. We got Wild Turkey with the Voyage, with the creation of the Russell's 13. I think these legacy distilleries are going to continue to come out with these new labels, especially flexing their ages. Because what advantage do they have on the new guy? That they've been around for a lot longer and they are sitting on those old casks. So not too surprised to see that Jack Daniel 10, the Jack Daniel 12, the Russell's 13, all of these big age statements, they're going to keep pushing those out because they definitely have a competitive advantage on the market when it comes to their stocks. And then what we've been seeing and hearing from Buffalo Trace is another example. You know, they're building new rick houses all the time. And I keep hearing people say, oh, they're going to catch up for production. They're going to make more Weller Red Label. They're going to make more Blantons. That's how they're going to set the market right with all of these new warehouses. I don't think so. I think they're just going to keep coming up with new labels to take advantage of all these stocks. Don't be surprised if we see a purple Weller label to keep adding to that line. And I'm sure it'll be something that really nobody asked for. It'll be like an 80 proof Weller, and people will still go crazy about it. And for some reason, they'll probably want, $800 for it on secondary and probably get that all because it's purple. That'll be next year. So prediction number 2, prices are going to keep going up. Hate to say that, but they are going to keep going up. We are going to see these distilleries continue to test the demand curve of their products, and they're probably going to keep winning a bit while longer. Best example we have this year is the Wild Turkey Voyage, going from the traditional Master Keep price of $175 to $275. Don't be surprised if the next one is $300 and then the next one is $350. They're going to keep testing the upper limit, and if they keep selling out, then that's a good price. That is going to be their measuring stick for if it's a good price or not. Does it sell out? Not if it's fair, not if it gets to everybody, not if it makes people mad. Does it sell out? And the thing that I look at that I always dread is when I go to one of my local stores and they have a case of scotch, and I look in that case and I see prices routinely of $200, $300, $500, $800, $2,300. There are bottles in that case ranging all up and down the price line. And then sometimes you see them disappear. All it takes is that one person to find that bottle that they're looking for that dark art or whatever it is. And then they're going to go and they're going to grab it. I think the bourbon market will continue to test that as well. And we've been seeing that slowly in motion. The thing that does interest me, though, is when they do start capping it and you start seeing them stay on the shelves rather than disappear. Bardstown, I think, is a good example of that. With Bardstown's recent releases, say the Foursquare or the recent discoveries, even. I have seen those sit on the shelves for months and months and months as the prices went from 120 to 150 to 180. It seems like they sit now. Maybe sales are still good. I don't know. But from my eyes, they do not sell out as quick as they used to at these new prices. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that'll teach them to scale back. The next one I'm going to point to is the fact that these craft and new distilleries continue to step up in the process. It does feel like we do have more and more people who know how to distill whiskey, and they're getting the process down and they're able to ramp up these brands faster and faster. When I think about how quickly something like Still Austin or Hard Truth came on the scene, and suddenly that's a name brand, at least to some of us in the community, that didn't exist 2 years ago. And now here it is, and we're talking about it all the time. More and more brands will do so. It also seems like I am discovering brands I didn't know about either. Something like Old Line. I now learned about Old Line, learned about their American single malts, and man, I've been getting into that brand more and more too. So there's probably even some other brands out there that just haven't been discovered yet because of their distribution maybe being limited and only the local people know about it. But the word's going to get out more and more as the momentum builds and people are looking for alternatives to fight the high prices of what the legacy distillers are doing. The next prediction is that I think for the last 5 years or so, we have been in a golden age of single barrels, a golden age of store picks, a golden age of particularly group picks. And I'm really, really fearful that that'll be coming to an end here very soon. What I'm worried about is so far, it does seem like new groups have been able to spring up. They've been able to get their hands on some good picks. They've been able to make names for themselves. But eventually, these distilleries, they have to put a stop to it. They won't have enough supply for the demand, and they are going to find a way on how they want to combat that. Whether they go to a lottery system like Sazerac, whether they just cut them off completely so that they have their own product ready for their blends, or what I think is more probable is that those that have been good customers the last couple of years will continue to get probably preferential treatment. And if you're in a new group, I don't know what you're going to get. I have a feeling more and more that the golden age of picks, at least as we've seen it, will start coming to a close, and I will miss this era more than anything if I am right. Now, going back to the prior one, with the new distilleries always popping up, hopefully there are always new distilleries offering single barrels that can continue to grab our attention and fulfill this need. The fifth prediction, and this is going to be the final one, is that with the single barrels maybe becoming more difficult, I could see more and more brands and more groups embracing blends. Man, have I seen some amazing blends lately. More and more people are learning the art of blending, and they're bringing it to their groups and they're bringing it to their brands. And it is pretty amazing. When I think about some of the brands recently that are all about making great blends, K. Luke comes to mind, 2XO comes to mind. And then there are a lot of people that have done some great blends of MGP over at Barrel King and have created some very special things. I brought up Bardstown earlier. I mean, they were kind of the masters of this just a few years ago that really brought blends to the forefront for me. where, they were mixing some just epic casks when it comes to Discovery 2, 3, and 4. And it was great stuff. You can elevate single barrels as much as you want because, hey, they can offer this wide range of possibilities. Some of them are unicorns, some of them are just pure magic somehow happened in that barrel. When it's sister barrel, the same magic didn't happen, and that just makes the magic even more special. I think it's magic when somebody purposefully creates something like a blend and that blend hits because that's like an artist creating something. It's not just the luck of the draw or you happen to find the right casts. That is a piece of art that you are drinking and was the labor of somebody's love. So there you go, everybody. That is 5 predictions for 2024 and where I think the bourbon market is going. Come back here to the comments. Let us know your prediction of 2024 and what you thought of these predictions in this list. So thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. We'll catch you on the next Tuesday discussion. Goodbye, everybody.